Wait, what if I told you Keanu Reeves has been married for over 30 years and didn't even know it? No wedding photos. No divorce. No secret love affair. Just one movie scene, one real priest, and a ritual so authentic that it may have turned fiction into reality. When Winona Ryder said, "I think we're actually married," the internet froze. But the truth behind this story is even crazier than you think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's dive into what really happened. Wait. Keanu Reeves is married. And not just married, but married to Winona Ryder. When this line first surfaced, it felt like a collective double-take across the internet. Fans froze mid-scroll. Comment sections exploded. Headlines multiplied overnight. For decades, Keanu Reeves had been known as Hollywood's most private enigma. Humble, soft-spoken, almost monk-like in his personal life. No scandals. No flashy romances. No wedding rings. So how could something this big slip past everyone? And then came the real shocker. Keanu himself casually confirmed it. In an interview, Reeves revealed that he and Winona Ryder might actually be technically married. Not metaphorically. Not emotionally. Technically. No press release. No bridal photos. No celebrity guest list. Just a quiet, offhand remark that sent fans spiraling. "We did a whole take of a marriage ceremony with real priests. Winona says we're married. Coppola says we're married. So I guess we are." Naturally, the world demanded answers. How does two of Hollywood's most iconic stars accidentally end up married? Why didn't anyone notice? And why Winona Ryder, his longtime co-star and close friend? The truth is even stranger, and far more fascinating, than a secret romance. This story isn't about a hidden love affair or a covert Hollywood wedding. There was no diamond ring, no honeymoon, no legal paperwork filed in secrecy. Instead, this mystery lives at the intersection of cinema and reality, where art blurred just enough to make fiction feel real. The moment traces back to one unforgettable film, Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. A dark, gothic love story directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder as tragic lovers bound by fate, obsession, and eternal devotion. In one pivotal scene, their characters participate in a marriage ceremony, filmed with haunting realism. Here's the detail that changes everything. Coppola didn't use actors to play the priests. He used real ones. The words spoken. Real. The ritual. Authentic. The moment. Captured on film, and possibly binding in a way no one fully realized at the time. What began as a performance may have crossed an invisible line between acting and reality. And to understand how a movie scene could echo into real life decades later, we have to return to the beginning. To a gothic love story where fiction refused to stay fictional. In 1992, Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder appeared together in one of the most visually striking films of the decade, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Directed by legendary filmmaker Francis Ford Coppola, the movie wasn't just another horror story. It was a gothic romance drenched in obsession, destiny, and eternal love. Dark shadows, lavish costumes, candlelit castles, and haunting music turned the film into a cinematic experience that lingered long after the credits rolled. Keanu Reeves played Jonathan Harker, a young man drawn into Dracula's terrifying world, while Winona Ryder portrayed Mina, the woman he loves, a character torn between human devotion and supernatural fate. On screen, their chemistry felt sincere and intense, grounding the film's fantasy with real emotional weight. Their characters were not just lovers. They were bound by vows, sacrifice, and destiny itself. One scene in particular would later become legendary for reasons no one anticipated. Midway through the film, Jonathan and Mina take part in a marriage ceremony. At the time, audiences saw it as nothing more than powerful storytelling, a dramatic ritual symbolizing love and commitment in a dark, supernatural world. Hollywood had staged countless wedding scenes before. This one seemed no different. But behind the scenes, this was no ordinary setup. Francis Ford Coppola was known for his obsession with authenticity. He believed that realism gave emotional depth to performance, and for Dracula, he wanted viewers to feel like they were witnessing something ancient and sacred, not a staged imitation. To achieve this, he made an unusual decision. Instead of hiring an actor to play the priest, he brought in a real Romanian Orthodox priest to conduct the ceremony. The prayers spoken were authentic. The ritual followed genuine religious tradition. Even the language used was ancient and unfamiliar to most on set. Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder didn't fully understand the words they were repeating. They trusted the script, the director, and the process. The cameras rolled. The vows were spoken. The scene was captured perfectly. And then, everyone moved on. The film premiered, became iconic, and entered pop culture history. The marriage scene faded into memory. Just another beautifully haunting moment in a beloved movie. No one questioned it. No one imagined it meant anything beyond the screen. But years later, something unexpected surfaced. A realization that turned this forgotten detail into a Hollywood legend. What was once dismissed as pure fiction suddenly raised a startling question. What if that ceremony was more real than anyone ever intended? Decades after Bram Stoker's Dracula faded from movie theaters and became a cult classic, an unexpected truth resurfaced, not through tabloids or leaked documents, but through a casual conversation. During later interviews, Winona Ryder reflected on the infamous wedding scene and suddenly realized something unsettling. The priest who performed the ceremony wasn't an actor at all. He was real. Not only that, the ceremony followed authentic Romanian Orthodox traditions. The prayers were genuine. The ritual was accurate. Nothing about it had been Hollywood-fied. What everyone assumed was pretend had, in fact, been performed with full religious seriousness. That's when Winona turned to Keanu and said something half joking, half serious. "I think we're actually married." At first, Keanu Reeves laughed. Like most people, he assumed the idea was absurd. Actors perform weddings all the time. It's fiction. It's pretend. End of story. But the more they talked about it, the more they remembered details, the less ridiculous it sounded. Neither of them spoke the ancient language used in the ceremony. Neither truly understood the vows they repeated. They trusted the director. They trusted the priest. And they went through the entire ritual from start to finish, uninterrupted, while cameras captured every second. Eventually, Keanu addressed it publicly, in the most Keanu Reeves way possible. No shock. No hype. No dramatic pause. Just calm honesty. In an interview, he said, "We did a whole take of a marriage ceremony with real priests. Winona says we're married." That single sentence exploded online. Fans couldn't believe how casually he delivered one of the most surreal statements in Hollywood history. No denial. No clarification. Just acceptance, as if he was talking about the weather. Of course, the legal reality is clear. There was no marriage license, no paperwork filed, no government recognition. From a legal standpoint, it likely doesn't count. But spiritually, that's where the mystery deepens. In many religious traditions, intention and ritual matter more than documents. A real priest performing a real ceremony can carry spiritual weight, even if it was done for art, even if the participants didn't fully grasp it at the time. And that's why this story refuses to die. Was it just a beautifully strange coincidence? A symbolic bond frozen in time by cinema? Or an accidental marriage hiding in plain sight for over 30 years? To this day, fans around the world still debate it, and Keanu and Winona, ever calm and amused, let the mystery live on. This story didn't go viral because it was scandalous or outrageous. It spread because it felt beautiful. In an industry driven by shock value, controversy, and constant drama, the idea of an accidental, almost poetic marriage touched something deeper in people. Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder symbolize something incredibly rare in Hollywood. A connection built on genuine friendship, mutual respect, and quiet loyalty rather than headlines. They've known each other for decades, long before social media, before viral moments, before every celebrity interaction was dissected and monetized. Their bond was never about romance rumors or publicity. It was about trust and comfort. They worked together during defining moments of their careers, shared creative space, and then went on to live their lives without exploiting that connection. No forced reunions. No staged interviews. No will they won't they narratives pushed by PR teams. Just two artists who respected each other and stayed grounded despite fame. That's exactly why fans found this story so refreshing. When the marriage revelation surfaced, neither Keanu nor Winona tried to turn it into drama. There were no lawsuits to clarify legality. No desperate attempts to deny or capitalize on it. No dramatic statements demanding attention. Instead, they laughed, gently, warmly, and let the story exist as something light and meaningful. In a celebrity culture filled with fake relationships, sudden breakups, and carefully curated romances designed for attention, this felt different. It felt unplanned, honest, almost innocent. There was something deeply romantic about the idea, even without traditional romance involved. Two actors. One beautifully crafted film. One real priest. One ceremony performed with sincerity. And a moment frozen forever, not in tabloids, but on film. Fans didn't cling to this story because they believed Keanu and Winona were secretly living a hidden married life. They loved it because it represented a softer kind of love, one rooted in history, shared experience, and respect. A love that didn't need labels, drama, or validation. In a world where celebrity relationships often feel manufactured, this accidental marriage felt timeless and almost mythical, like something out of an old storybook. That's why fans smile when they talk about it. That's why the internet refuses to let it fade. And that's why so many people say, half joking but fully sincere, if any two celebrities are secretly married, we're happy it's them. So, are Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder actually married? Legally, the answer is simple: there's no official proof. No marriage license. No court record. No paperwork hidden in some forgotten archive. From a legal standpoint, they are not husband and wife. Romantically, that answer is just as clear. They've never claimed to be a couple, never hinted at a secret relationship, and never blurred that line. What they've always shown is deep friendship, steady, respectful, and genuine. But symbolically, that's where the magic lives. This story endures because it sits in that rare space where art quietly brushes against reality. A single movie scene, filmed decades ago, transformed into something more than fiction, not because of intention, but because of sincerity. Two actors trusted their director, honored the moment, and unknowingly participated in a ritual that carried real weight. It's a reminder that art isn't always pretend. Sometimes it leaves fingerprints on real life. Keanu Reeves never shared this story to shock people or create headlines. He didn't dramatize it or turn it into a spectacle. He spoke about it the same way he speaks about everything, with calm honesty, humility, and a gentle sense of humor. That's exactly why people believed him. And that's exactly why they love him. Winona Ryder handled it the same way. She didn't claim romance. She didn't try to redefine their relationship. She simply acknowledged the moment, respected its authenticity, and allowed it to exist as something quietly meaningful. And that's the heart of it. This isn't a love story about marriage contracts, ceremonies, or lifelong promises made in public. It's a story about connection, the kind that forms when two people share history, creativity, and trust. The kind that doesn't need labels to be real. In a world obsessed with official titles and public validation, this technical marriage feels strangely refreshing. It wasn't planned. It wasn't marketed. It wasn't used. It simply happened, and then gently lived on as a shared memory. Maybe that's why it resonates so deeply. Because sometimes, the most meaningful bonds aren't defined by law or romance, but by moments, honest, unrepeatable moments, that stay with us forever. And maybe that's why this accidental, symbolic marriage feels more sincere than many real ones.